I know there's a couple kings on here. Just putting my makeup on. I forgot to put my makeup on this morning. A little late. And I have a client call at 11 o'clock. So I've got to get moving. I've got to do this and then try to fit in a quick workout in the next hour. So I can't be my blabby self. But if you want to hear more blabs of me, go to But Still She Thrives. It's my podcast. You'll hear plenty of blabs about narcissism, if that is your jam. I know it's no one's jam. We do not like narcissism. But if you have gone through narcissistic abuse, and honestly, even if it's not exactly narcissist or you don't know if it's narcissist, a lot of content I talk about can be how to deal with toxic people in general, and more importantly, how to take care of yourself, right? That's my reminder that I have a meeting. There we go. To take care of yourself, how to take care of yourself, what to do. Sometimes you come out of a toxic situation, you're like, okay, now what? Now what? So I talk about the now whats on my podcast. I feel called to do a little Jesus calling. What is it? It's May 5th, because yesterday was the 4th. Be with you. May 5th. Let's do a little JC. Come to me for all that you need, because I just felt like God was like, you gotta preach real quick and then do your makeup. Come into my presence with thanksgiving, for thankfulness opens the door to my treasures. That's another thing. I just sent out I have a newsletter. I send out emails to my email list of people who follow me and sign up for my emails. It's like 120 people, I think, on there. And so I send out my podcast blast, but I also am going to start doing every Friday, like sending out a little just letter, like a more personal, not just like, here's my podcast or here's my product, right? Something more personal. So I was talking about not focusing so much on toxic things, toxic people, and kind of shifting to gratitude, which is what this is talking about. So good timing. When you are thankful, you affirm the central truth that I am good. I am light in whom there is no darkness at all. The assurance that I'm entirely good meets your basic need for security. So if you have faith, strong faith, true faith, because we might be like, yeah, I believe in God, I have faith, right? But it's very hard for us, we're humans, to like really literally live that every moment of every day. It's pretty impossible, right? Because we have human brains that take over. Hello, Marie. So, but knowing that I'm entirely good meets your basic need for security. Your life is not subject to the whims of a sin-stained deity. Ooh, drop the mic. Relax in the knowledge that the one who controls your life is totally trustworthy. That's something I have to remind myself of. Come to me with confident expectation. Confident, you can go to God expecting. Like for me, that's when I ask things, I know it's not in my time. Like I know not everything is going to be unicorns and roses all the time. Wouldn't that be nice though? But it's like when I pray, when I am in need and ask Big Daddy up there, why'd I do a peace sign out now? I was meant to do that. Big Daddy, that a lot of times I don't feel that confidence, and I have to remind myself of that faith and confidence of like, things are going to work out. I don't get this path. I don't know why this has happened to me. Maybe we do this, I don't deserve this. Or maybe sometimes when we're in abusive situations, we feel like we maybe do deserve it. They can make you so questioning of yourself that I've had those moments years ago, and finally I'm on the other side of that where it's like, I don't deserve this. And that's what I think I titled this thing. It's about you deserve more, right? You deserve more. God didn't put us here to suffer, right? There is nothing you need that I cannot provide. So I think it's just a reminder when we're in our heads. I'm going to put my moisturizer on. When we are in our heads, we can't have that security, right? Like we have to get out of our heads, and we have to get into our bodies. No, we do actually get into our bodies. It helps when you think about when you're like on a run, right? Like people exercise to release stress. Why? Because you get out of your dang head. Like, yes, the actual physical part of it is something, but a lot of it is mental. And it's just like focusing on something else besides our thoughts, right? Like, and our thoughts do create our energy, our mood, our perspective. So you came to this earth, and whether you're a God believer or not, which I am, so if you hear God, sorry that, you know, I might mention God once or twice in these videos, here and there, depending on the video content, but despite that, it doesn't matter. We're not here, like, our purpose here is not to suffer, right? So if you're putting up with someone's BS, that is not how life is supposed to be. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you get to make choices in this life that either amplify the drama or the BS or the victimization. And I do believe we are victims. Sometimes people say, don't say victim, it's survivor. Great. I believe in both. Love God, don't apologize. Yes, Marie. Well, I know some people, I'm not apologizing. It's more like just know that I'm a God believer. That doesn't mean you have to be a God believer. I'm a God believer. So just if anyone's new on this page, they're not like, whoa, I didn't know she's a God person. I don't know. Some people are weird. Not weird, but like weird about things like that, right? So I'm just putting it out there. But we are not here to suffer. If you are a God person, you know that from the Bible, right? Like, there is suffering. Victim is a rightful word. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we are victims when we are set up in certain situations and things happen to us that are out of our control. I feel like we can be victims, but it's what you do with that. And that's where I'm sure I can get people pissed at me by talking about this stuff sometimes because, but in my experience, why I talk this way isn't I'm not just talking at you, you know, I'm not talking at you guys. I've lived through it. I have been through a very horrible depression when my friend passed away when I was 18. I have been through my dad nearly dying from cancer, me taking care of him, me going through one of the darkest times of my life. I have gone through disconnecting from a narcissist, which is hell on earth, and I had my very first and only panic attack due to it. I've been through more, and I have this tough exterior, I'm fierce and right? And like, that's a real part of me. But I've been through a lot, and more than I need to share, you know, on this specific video. I'm gonna put my mascara on. But so I know pain. I've gone through freaking like 3 divorces in my family. My dad's on his 4th marriage. I have other things that are more private I can't share or choose not to share on here as of now for other people's privacy. But I've been through hell, like a bunch of hell in my life. And I'm not looking for a cookie. I'll take one. But all that to say, when I say you have more control over your life than you think, some people get triggered by that. Some people don't like that I say those things. They're like, well, we have our emotions and I'm not saying you cannot feel upset that something happened to you, but in how I do things and how I coach, yeah, we touch on the stuff. We figure out the why or how you are where you are, and we focus on now and where we want to be, right? Not where we've been. And that can be hard. I get it. But through my own experience, I know for a fact that sitting and wallowing in your feelings or resentment will never put you forward in life. So you have to decide, where do you want to go? Do you want to sit stagnant in a bunch of emotions? I don't think you do. I'm using my Hourglass Elephant palette. This is actually bronzer, but I'm using it for eyeshadow. I don't think that you want to do that. Nobody well, that's not true. There are people that thrive off drama, and it is a choice. And people say it's not a choice. It is a comfort, maybe. Maybe you grew up in a chaotic, dramatic environment, so you might feel more comfortable with drama or negativity. But when people say, and I really hate hearing this, everything always bad happens to me. It's one of my pet peeves when I hear it. And I'm not saying anything against the people who say it, but I truly believe the more you focus on bad things happening, maybe they happen more, or maybe you're just not paying attention to the good things surrounding you too, right? But when you're so focused on all the bad things, I do believe it is a cycle and you attract more bad things, more negative energy. I'm a big believer in energy, right? And I also perspective. So it's time to stop feeling, not saying feeling like the victim, because I get you can be a victim, right? But to stop wallowing in the bad feelings and really make a decision. Decide is like my word of the week this week. Make a decision and say, what do I really want? What do I want? Even if you take it day by day, what do I want? What do I deserve? If you aren't there yet and you don't feel like you deserve happiness, and that can be a thing, especially when you've gone through abuse, then get support. Decide, I want to feel like I deserve better. I want to build my confidence. You have to make a decision. You have to stand up for yourself. Nobody is going to walk this life for you. There's no magic pill. Yes, there's Xanax, right? But it's not a permanent solution. It doesn't fix the underneath problem, the underlying problems, right? This is Milani as I scream at everybody. So I just get passionate about this, not because I'm annoyed, but because I feel so sad for people that don't get that they're worthy, that we're all worthy, we're born worthy, and that don't put themselves first enough to say, I am going to invest in myself. I'm going to figure out a way to get help. I'm not saying, I know if you don't have money in general to spend on yourself, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying some people will put money in other ways. They say, I want peace, I want to feel better, da, 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 and then they're going and buying a Louis Vuitton bag, right? But they're not going to get the therapy. Like, prioritize yourself, because nothing else is going to fix that hole inside except filling it with belief in yourself and belief in general and faith. Nothing else is going to do that for you. No vacation, no Louis Vuitton bag, no sports car, no puppy. Maybe a puppy? Maybe a puppy. Maybe a puppy. No. So that's my little rant for the day. I'm gonna put some lippy on, and then I have to do a little exercise before my client call. And this is Clinique. What color are you? Mega Melon. I love it. I love it. But you guys, if you are feeling stuck, make a decision and figure out what is that next move. Marie, we talked about brick by brick, right? I'm going to call you out. You haven't emailed me. It's your choice. It's your choice, but you have to figure out, well, what do I want? Maybe that's it. What do I want? What is my next step? If you don't know your next step, have me help you. I write back to people all the time who email me. Like, I'm a person. I'm here. I want to help. People write me with questions, or just like, I'm lost and I don't know my next step. I don't even know where to start. I'm telling you, I'm here. But it has to come from you. Nobody, I'm not going to drag anybody out. I'm not going to care more than someone else cares. I can't. That's exhausting, because most of the time if you do that, I've had only one client in my history of working that didn't care enough to do the work. And she told me she didn't do the work one week, and I said, that's fine. Why don't I refund your money? And like, you have two options. I can refund your money, which like no coaches do that. I will be honest, nobody does that, but I'm not in this for the money. Yes, I'm going to exchange the time, but I felt like if you're not doing the work, you decided something and changed your mind, take your money. We won't do the rest of, the sessions. And if you're ever ready in the future, come back. Because I am not here to take money to watch people not do the work. And it is work. It is change. You can't have change without changing. So you deserve to have a peaceful, joyful life. That's it. But you have to want it enough to do something about it. So if you're not having joy, you're not having peace in your life, there's something missing, you feel lost, all these things people come to me with, right? If you don't have that, you have to make a decision to do something about it. It's not just going to come into your lap. Yes, pray about it. That's great. But you have to take action steps. I did not get here. I'm telling you, I wish I didn't have a call because I could really dive into this deep. I have gone through the freaking trenches. Painful, painful stuff. And I'm not saying it was easy to pull myself out of it, but I came to a crossroad of, am I going to sit here and wallow in it and have no hope and cry and have panic attack and not see, like not live? I was not living. I literally was not living life, right? At the darkest point of my life. And I was like, looked in the mirror and was like, what do you want to do? You get to decide. So whatever you think and you do right in this moment is going to shift either way. And yes, it can be those bite-sized changes, right? It might be I'm taking a shower and getting out of bed today. It might be like I signed up for a class. I started running every morning. I called my friends. I said, guys, please, I'm asking for help. Like, come drag me out of my house because I don't have it in me to drag myself out today. That was, just thinking back, that gets emotional. That was a very, very hard time. And they showed up and they dragged me out and they took me to Starbucks and I had hairy legs because I was too sad to shave. Right? Hairy legs and coffee. Gorgeous. Okay? See, I'm being open. I'm talking about my hairy legs and my sadness, right? Most of us go through some crap, some hell in our life. But we don't deserve to suffer, so we have to make a choice of perspective and action to change that. That's it. You have no friends? Well, Marie, let's talk about how to get you some friends. Okay? Whenever we have something in our minds that is a complaint, right? And I'm not saying it's a complaint exactly. I know you're just expressing that, but generally, I've had that too. I don't have any like fun friends. Like when I lived in Virginia, I complained a lot about my friends there. I mean, I had a couple friends, but I felt like it was very different from growing up in my home life and all the friends and the funny and but I wasn't doing anything really about it. Not specifically enough. So it's like, get zeroed in on, okay, what kind of friends do you want? And you know what, too? It might not look exactly like what we think. So you don't have friends? Let's get you some friends. Like, it's not that easy. Actually, it's not necessarily easily because you do have to make an effort. So you have to decide, am I going to make an effort to make friends? Is it important to me? Do I feel sad about not having friends? Then do something. Yeah, people are different. Even at my age, trust me. I just recently started to stick my neck out more and make efforts and be vulnerable. And I hate it. I'm an extrovert and I hate it. I feel like asking people out is like, I have a friend thing. I think I've talked to you guys about it, where I have a fear of rejection in friendships like no other, because one of my best friends rejected me broke up with me, whatever you want to call it, and it destroyed my freaking heart. I know I've talked about this here. So my fear is real. But I recently said, I need to let people in. I need to put my neck out and make an effort. If I want friends, then I need to ask them basically to be friends. And I opened up to people. And guess what? I have a group of friends now. And it happened relatively quickly. And you have to be open. You have to be open. That's what I can say. Because I wasn't very open. Like, I was in my head judging and like, I don't know if this person will be a great, right? We want perfection. Don't look for everything in one person either. But if you want friends, stop making excuses. And again, I'm just saying in general, okay? So no one get offended. I'm talking to myself too here. This is always because I've been through this stuff. If you want something changed, stop making excuses and do it. And if you need help or don't know where to start, email me. I'm a really good resourceful person. That's one thing I'm good at. Naturally good at is figuring out troubleshooting, right? Problem solving. Like I believe so hard there's always a way to do everything that I'm stubborn, I'm a Taurus, so like we will figure it out. You want a friend? Email me. Let's figure out how to get you a friend. You can Google how to find a friend in adulthood and it'll bring up results. I've done it. But even, I've made friends, and friends, some can be not your best friends, some can be closer friends. There's all different types of friends. You can meet in different ways, in different places, doing things you want to do, signing up for an art class. My aunt just said she did a pottery class. And she ended up chatting with someone a lot younger than her and stuff, like about my age. But she said she really enjoyed it. It was like that connection. It felt good, right? Will they be best friends? Probably not. But there was a connection made. And you have to really be open. And I know with you, Marie, there's trust things in general, which is what I had too. And that's where you have to make a decision. Am I going to lay in distrust the rest of my life that's going to block me from literally every joy? And that's like with my one-on-one clients, we work through that stuff, and how you break through a lot of that is doing like yoga and meditation. And if that's not your jam, there are other things, right? But that is what helps me. Most of my clients love it. It seems to work because you just open up, you free, you let go, you release toxic energy. Like, it's a real thing, right? I told you I'm an energy person. So it's not just all mindset work. There is mindset work to be done, but it's also a decision and saying, I am so sick of not having XYZ, friendship, joy, whatever it is, not having that dream job, not doing that hobby I want to do. So decide to do something about it. You are the only person that can do that. That's it. No one can make you do anything. And that's a blessing, but it's also gives us responsibility, right? It's up to us. So we can blame the world. We can blame other people. When I made friends, some would share with others what I said or did. I heard a neighbor talk about me. And I have two things to say about that. When we think that's going to happen, we can manifest it to happen and attract those people. We can learn to see the red flags. I have three things to say. Also, shit can happen. I don't know. Are girls in my group talking shit about me? I don't know. If they do, that will suck. I will cry about it and I will go find new friends, right? We can't live in the fear of what could happen or making the past mean that's what's going to happen. That's what my problem was with my best friend who X'd me out. I was terrified that was going to happen again. I was going to be vulnerable. I was going to open up. I was going to trust someone. I was going to love someone. I was going to have a deep connection with someone. They were going to hurt me. So F that. I put a wall up. Not anymore. You want to know the red flags? Well, I don't have time for the red flags right now because hold on. Shit. What time is it? Yeah, I gotta go in 1 minute. But remind me, we can talk about red flags. I can chew on that. Mostly there are, I mean, did you ever hear them talking about other people? There's a red flag. I mean, one of my old, really good friends, I was very upset. I found out she had talked about me. And then I was like, am I that surprised? Because she talked about other people. She talked about other friends of hers. Was I surprised that she talked about me? They're going to show you their colors. It's just you have to look for it, you know? Yes. There you go, Marie. Look for the people, and this is what I found. The people who talk about things, positive things, people that don't gossip, people that don't complain all the time. And then you got to be that person too. If you want to attract those people, good advice. Thank you. I won this morning. One thing I noticed when I shifted more into this, like more, I mean, I've always been into self-help and all of that, but when I really start diving into that and really focusing on bettering myself and doing charity work and working out and I naturally started, like, I'm not going to say I never talked about anybody, right? I'm not going to say that. I did. I'm human. Sorry, everybody I've ever talked about, right? I think a lot of people do. But what I noticed when I started having more excitement and my own stuff, like more to talk about and focus on than like other people and what they were doing, I started attracting a lot more interesting, amazing people that don't talk about anyone. They talk about like, oh yeah, I'm doing this charity event this weekend. I want you to come. Or, oh, did you read this book? Or talking about politics. There's so much more to talk about than other people. And it was like, wow, these people, like, I never hear them talk about anybody. So I doubt they're talking about me. So that was comforting. If they are, oh, the fuck, well, I'll have to get over it because I'm 43 years old and I need people in my life. So find someone else if they do, if you find out they do. But that is, yes, if people are talking about other people to you, they're talking about you to other people. That is a fact, even if you're best friends. I can say it for myself. When I was younger, I did talk, I mean, not horribly, but I talked a little shit about some of my friends. I did. I'd be like, I don't like that she did that. And then, oh, she thinks she did. Well, I tell her what. Oh. I was like a tough guy, you know? So did that mean I was talking about each and every one of my friends? Probably. Were they talking about me? Probably. You're attracting the same type of person that you are. So also be the friend you want to be. Okay. Gotta go. Gotta go work it out. Working out. Do a little yoga or Pilates. And then I have a client call. I'm so excited. A new client is joining. I love it. She seems really cool. So I get so excited when I get those like really aligned clients that are like excited and passionate. It's like, yeah, let's rise, bitches. Okay. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. I won't be on over the weekend, but hopefully I'll be back Monday. And smooches and deuces, and go focus on positive things and not what you're lacking, and go get some friends. Good live. All right, cool. Thanks, Marie. Bye.